Station thing.
So you guys ready?
Okay, so basically these are factors that make it easier for companies to highly influence their brands upon the age demographic we're looking at. So teenagers are the age when they're trying to figure out who they are and who they're going to be. Insecurity arises around this time in one's life. And then also teens and young adults are easily influenced by the media, peer pressure, and other aspects.
We talked about three things when advertising brand name products to teenagers. First is identity. Our society is obsessed with consuming products, which creates a belief of who you are being identified by what you wear. Teenagers base their identity on brand loyalty, which many companies focus on creating. The second is self-image. Teenagers and young women spend over $9 billion on makeup and skin products alone. Cosmetic companies are phenomenal at selling the message, we can make you look desired, we can make you fit in, we can make you happy. Last is belonging. Teenagers spend most of their time trying to find a place where they belong, a group where they fit in. This is why branding is so significant during this stage of life. Marketers are extremely focused on reaching this age demographic because branding is about trying to find groups to identify with.
And we have a video here of Jennifer Lawrence talking about our subject.
Basically, she just says it's not fair. What people do. So, just don't judge people like that.
So these companies are, in my opinion, not being ethical at all. Because they're branding things that are not good to like young people and kind of forcing them into fitting in a category. These companies have this power over these young adults without these adolescents knowing that the company gets power over them. And basically they can put whatever they want on a shirt or whatever, or a jacket, and expect teenagers to just buy it because of the brand name that comes with it. And then those are just some facts about like Abercrombie and Fitch and like how they kind of are like selecting certain people that they're branding it to.
Basically a shirt that Urban Outfitters created that simply says eat less, which they're creating an image that says you need to eat less to look good and look like natural. And that alone gives the consumer the idea that they aren't good enough if they don't look like that. And today there are many children and young adults who suffer from eating disorders, insecurities, low self-esteem, and even depression.
Okay, so back to body image and stuff like that. Basically, there's a quote here, and it's saying that they should focus more on being creative and imaginative, but instead they're focusing on fitting in and identifying with these brands. But it's creating a lot of body image issues and disorders such as anorexia, bulimia, binging, and even depression. And 95% of those who have eating disorders are between the ages of 12 and 25.
All right. It seems like in our culture here in the United States, we encourage unhealthy disorders. For example, when a young woman flips through a magazine, all she sees is real thin women, which could trigger that feeling of
uniforms helps solve the problem?
Well, I mean, it's still, school can be still kind of clicky out.
Oh, you're never getting rid of the clothes, but I mean, one of the things that this uniform does, and schools argue this, is that you don't have to worry about branding. It sort of equalizes the population. If you insist that everybody wears, khaki pants and a blue button down, then you don't have to worry about polo and Ralph Lauren and those being issues of
It
class.
definitely reduces the,
I went to school with uniforms, it did not help at all.
Yeah, I think it's just a cover.
The poor kids wore it, and still do, was what, because they acted different, and some of the clothes were bought at a nicer store, whether it's a black polo. Some people have really old polos they had when they started going to school, some people got new ones every year. It's not, I didn't think it helped at all.
It's just a cover up, if you ask me. Like, I think clips are gonna form no matter what. So, it's just there.
Kids are cruel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't think, you don't decide about
Alright guys, choosing a nickname for your club, your team, or organization is a vital process in marketing. There's many ways to do that. A couple ways to represent that is choosing a nickname for a team can be certain as how the coaches coach, how the players play, or for an organization, it can symbolize how the staff conducts their business. Now, marketing issue we've been looking at and done our project over is the controversy of the NFL team. The nickname of the NFL team, the Washington Redskins. The term Redskins is being used as, or accused as being derogatory and offensive to the Native Americans. And TJ will tell us about the history of that.
Yeah, so the organization started in 1932. They were originally called the Boston Braves, shared the name with the baseball team that was there. Actually shared the field. They played at Fenway Park just like the baseball team for the first few years. As we have here, the actual term Redskin means two different things, the skin color or face paint. And originally when they decided to change the name to the Redskins because they were trying to avoid confusion with the baseball team and the football team, but they were trying to find a way to keep the Native American connotations, so they changed it to the Redskins. So, what's next?
Okay, I'm going to talk about the controversy. There's been a lot of controversy since 1971 on this issue. A lot of people have come forward, including 23 Native American tribes who have been offended by this, and also 50 organizations that openly protest. Owner Dan Snyder stated that this is full of honor and pride, so he's not willing to change the name. He's standing behind it firmly and is not willing to budge. And then President Obama has also stated that there are legitimate concerns over this.
In the media, it's starting to have an effect too. In the NFL broadcast in 2014 said the word Redskins 472 fewer times than they did in 2013, which is a 27% decrease. So it's obviously already starting to have a change in our society. And on May 28, 2014, 10 members of Congress sent a letter to the Redskins organization in the NFL urging a name change. And even during halftime this past season, Bob Costas spent a little while explaining on why the name is so derogatory.
So in response to the marketing, Dan Snyder has been accused of pouring money down the drain and due to not changing the name. The management has had to raise ticket prices because there is such loss from the ticket holders. Marketing analysis claim that they should rebuild their image around Robert Griffin III because his merchandise sales have been phenomenal and it will bring a better product on the field, and the club will bring in another $10 to $15 million because of it. There was a big controversy between Democratic Senate Harry Reid, who was encouraging Dan Snyder to force a name change. And because of this, Bruce Allen fired back saying that the Redskins Native American expression means solidarity. And he also mentioned in this letter that there was a poll taken that 90% of Americans didn't find the name offensive, and 83% said that they agreed to keep the name. So, and also in this message, or in the letter, it stated that it listed the recent charitable events because of this, and they have funded within 2 months to 40 projects helping Native Americans. So even though it hasn't, or the changing the name hasn't helped or affected any college teams, the Redskins name is a brand on its own, so that can be changing logo, changing the colors, and numerous other things.
Like you said, Dan Snyder sent a letter out to the fans where he addressed a lot of these issues. And in that letter, he really just goes through and he kind of appeals to the fans' emotions as he talks about his first experience at a Redskins game or all these different things that he remembers growing up and how the Redskins name has pride and honor behind it instead of all these other things that these Native American organizations and tribes and stuff are trying to come after him for. In that, he states very boldly that they will, as long as he's in charge, the name will never be changed for those reasons. And I think a good lesson that we can learn from this is you have to be very careful in today's society on how you brand and how you name your product or your team or organization, because we live in a society that's very politically correct. And so this just shows that over time, things change, and so some of that stuff might have to evolve. So just going forward, if you ever find yourself in that position, make sure that you remember that type of thing so you're not under the same scrutiny as the Redskins. Thank you.
What is his plan if the NFL says you have to change the name? I mean, they have the right as the franchise to say, you won't play in our league if you don't change the name.
Yeah, and he's come up and they've had, I think, a couple like lawyers and stuff fight for them in that case, saying that there's nothing that they can do, like the NFL can do legally through their bylaws that can make him change it. But he's just blatantly saying he's not going to. So I don't know if that would mean he gets evicted from his position and someone has to replace him or what.
I mean, the NFL can change their bylaws, but that's not
Right.
difficult to do. The NBA did that.
Yeah. So I would say maybe he would get evicted or, impeached.
Another thing is a lot of the Native Americans in that area enjoy the name. They love the name, so they take pride in it. So it's more of just kind of around the state and certain political groups.
Thank you. Did you all get your paper? Thank you so much.
Okay, so our group's topic is data mining in today's marketing environment. What is data mining? Data mining is the process that companies use to turn raw data into useful information. This comes in many forms, and it's been around for quite some time. And while there are quite a few pros to this strategy, it does raise significant questions.
So what webmasters use data mining for is basically which pages have been viewed the most, why they've been viewed the most, and which page has no traffic on it. So basically they use things like Google Analytics. That's one of the programs out there that basically aggregates all of the information down into one kind of data pile of data, and then gives it back to the webmasters. And from there, webmasters will take all that data, switch every single web page that that domain, and then basically will make it more user friendly to the user for the so it'd be more traffic work.
Social media has had consumer to buy what they want. consumer can find anything like car and clothes and control whatever they want. For example, if you go to Facebook, there's a lot of information whatever you find. That's when social media is help producer to see patterns and sell their product. Producer means see pattern customer for their products. Product can know what style they want, like shape, function, and design. Consumer want is the same. Producer can accept consumer opinion directly or product from social media. Social media help to communicate what they think between consumer and producer. Like for 15 years ago, we can just watch ads on TV, but there is no way to communication between producer and consumer. So we can communicate with now with each other through social media. Communicating is very good ability between consumer and producer. By communicating, producer can develop their technologies from consumer opinion. Also, consumer can improve their life from high quality products as well.
So there's a lot of information there, but basically, the data mining using programs like Google Analytics and things like that make it make websites a little more customer friendly and improve customer service. If you ever go to Amazon and you go to buy something, it gives you suggested products to go along with it. Like you want to buy a sombrero, they offer you a poncho and maracas. Obviously, you want ponchos and maracas, let's be real. But it's suggested. So the data mining kind of helps suggest and make websites a little more shoppable for you. It takes some of the guesswork out of marketing. It makes marketers' jobs a little easier. But all of those pros, they do come with some cons. So Daisy and Chelsea are going to talk about the cons.
So information cannot truly be private just because, say, on Facebook, a lot of businesses have now their own Facebook, and so they'll say, you know, you get 20% off if you go like our page. Well, you automatically give them your information access to your social media. Also, the social media doesn't protect you from, say, if there's games on there, like Candy Crush, and you want to buy extra lives and you put your credit card information on there, you're willingly giving them your information, so that's also another con. Sometimes there'll be chains that go around social media, and sometimes they'll give them too much information, and you don't realize that some of that information could be linked to your bank accounts. So what we need to think about is, are we hurting ourselves more than helping?
So some other possible issues with data mining. I have 3 examples up here. Slack was a recent company, a small company, that was actually targeted recently for a cyber attack. They actually, I don't think they lost any information, but that's still there. When you gather information, you've got the possibility of hacking where it is still your information from there. We've also got Radio Shack recently. They were declaring bankruptcy. I actually found an article that described that they were thinking about selling their consumer information to help make up for their bankruptcy. And the last one I have is kind of an interesting one, is Wi-Fi Barbie. They're actually coming out with a Wi-Fi Barbie that hooks in like through Siri that can talk to kids and actually have conversations with these kids, but you don't know what kind of information your kid is telling this Barbie, what kind of information this Barbie would be keeping or giving to the kids themselves.
All right, so looking back at what they've all said, there's definitely some good things that can come of data mining, but there's also some really bad things. So it kind of comes down to, what are you really willing to put on the internet? Because once it's there there for good. Somebody can come in and take it. And it looks like, I mean, data mining, it's going to be around for a while. Like, it's going to stick around. So it really kind of comes down to, what do you, like, at the personal level, what do you really want to put on the internet? What are you comfortable with people coming in and finding? Because they're going to do it regardless. But as for now, there's really good things that can happen, there's really bad things that can happen. And you just gotta decide for yourself what you want to do. And that's your project.
Before you all leave, I have one question. So you mentioned the Wi-Fi Barbie. Google Glass is gone. They decided that people, and I don't know why they didn't decide to change their market and start selling it to police departments instead of doing the taser cams on the chest, because it seems to me that that would be a really much better product. But if you thought Google Glass was creepy, Wi-Fi Barbie is really creepy, right? Because it uses artificial intelligence to learn what your kid says to it and then repeat what, you know, from what it's learning, responses to the child's questions. And do you think that's going to actually take off?
I mean, Google Glass didn't take off mostly because of price, and no one really knew what it was. So I would say the Wi-Fi Barbie probably won't take off because what kid's going to really want to talk to this Barbie and understand that it's going to talk back to it? And I'm sure there's some stuff that goes along with actually getting it to work properly that I know I didn't have attention span for that when I was a kid. So I'm going to say probably not.
I think a lot of kids would like to talk to Barbie. I think a lot of parents might be very concerned about what.
I'd rather go talk to another kid, but that's just me.
All right, thanks.
I've seen Chucky too many times. I'm not talking to dolls. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Alex Wilson, working for like 20 seconds. What do you do today? Okay, go inside. Like that. Okay, bye.
Did I get a paper from? There you go. Thank you.
Okay, so as a group, we kind of talked about our perception of body image and the kind of effects it has on our health, both mentally and physically. So in this class, we've obviously learned that marketing is both a science and an art, and these two working together can be a prosperous thing for a business. Though marketers are expected to hold up certain quality standards, how can we trust or know that whatever they're selling us is honest and ethical? There are a number of areas in which advertisements can be emotionally harmful to consumers, namely the creating and sustaining of body image, fads like the trend of course, a majority of us becoming like the fitness generation, you know, and desires. Perhaps the most misleading marketing techniques come from those, of course, targeting our health. Through the unethical labeling and information on social media, of course, dietary supplements, you know, trying to get 6-week abs, you know, by taking certain pills, and health literature, marketers take advantage of us as the consumers. That's kind of what we'll talk about today. A poll showed 27% of girls felt pressure to have a perfect body, and advertisements continue to portray fitness as beauty for women. And eudaimonia was an ethical dilemma because in the end they want to be happy, but why should our happiness be based on whether we have an ideal body? And sometimes the process that we take to get that perfect body can be dangerous. Men and women are equally susceptible to body image issues, and they both look for different types of body. Usually women want to be thin and men want to be more muscular, which then could possibly lead to supplement abuse.
consumers, and as they are so vulnerable, they try to get anything they like by the crook. So marketing is creating insecurities in them. In fact, they are manipulating their brains. Young people feel insecure about almost anything that might be about body shape, fashion, music, or technology. So the commercial ads which we see around our environment are insisting them to buy anything, all kinds of unsold products, even though which are not necessarily important for them. And the strategy of keeping celebrities in the commercial ads has become very common and easiest way to stimulate the viewers to go and buy the products. Moreover, advertisements are targeting young consumers to grow up with the brand identifications and value of patriotism, along with increase in self-esteem with the use of branded products. So yeah, marketers are really smart. They know how to, young consumers have been targeted by market businesses.
All right. So social media has become an important issue today with the body image, and it impacts more people than the other media. So social media has become a large promoter in fitness and the newest ways to lose weight. It's a large network to market and promote products and services to enhance one's looks and to achieve the body we want. Because of these reasons, there is a targeted group of people who experience body dissatisfaction. Because of social media, we fall prey to marketing schemes. Another way social media impacts marketing is when we market to our friends. People find a message more credible and meaningful whenever a friend tells us something, such as like with pictures and comments of working out and eating healthy.
Gyms also use marketing strategies to target body image. A lot of their techniques are psychological, like they might promise you'll be a happier person when you go to the gym, or it'll be easier for you to find a partner. They also target demographics very well. They offer different kinds of gyms. They just for women gyms, just for men gyms. If you just want power lift or casual working out. Gyms portray the ideal place to attain the ideal body image.
Okay, I want to talk a little bit about how dietary supplements are regulated correctly. The Food and Drug Administration regulates all non-prescription and prescription drugs, but it doesn't regulate dietary supplements. Those are just considered a food product. So if you buy something and it says, you're going to get muscle mass, well, only 48% actually have to be what they say they're going to. How do they get away with it? Even though there are guidelines in place by the Federal Trade Commission, advertisers just feel pressure to jump on a bandwagon. If their competitors are offering this product as like cure cancer, well, they're going to do the same thing. Basically, it's unethical to advertise multiple claims that it seems that herbal companies are continuing to do with it.
In conclusion, companies have used many marketing techniques to create the ideal body image and perception the body should have, whether it be through advertisements, social media, gyms, or herbal supplements. Many times they go through unethical means, whether it be targeting children or not being completely truthful about what's in their supplements, hazardous to people's health. Many times, consumers are brought in because their desire to follow the crowd. Like in social media, you may see your friends, posting these pictures, just get them to the gym, you want to have that body. And they continue to follow that consumer, that cycle. They're very effective by, most likely it'll just start over the picture.
Before you all go, the New York Attorney General has just released a report that they did an analysis of supplements that were taken from GNC, Walmart, Target, CVS, Walgreens, and they could find no evidence in the vast majority of those supplements that the pills or the chemical compounds were actually contained. It's not just filler, but they actually contained the supplement itself. They could find, for example, in echinacea, that it did not contain the supplement that was labeled echinacea had none. The supplement company's response is that because they have altered the substance, that you couldn't find the DNA. We can find trace DNA in anything. You cannot alter a substance to the extent that you cannot find the DNA in the substance. So what do you all think about that?
I heard about that, and I think Walgreens is the only one that are actually going to take out those products off their shelves. I know that they said they would. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. Yeah. It's great.
Most people think that when you see it on a shelf, particularly in a pharmacy aisle, that there has to be FDA approval. There's no FDA approval. There's no quality testing of those products whatsoever. So it's a really important topic. Very good, thank you. Number 11. Thank you, sir.
So they actually pay their individual student scripts. Right here, I have a little thing that says, eat like a pig, gain as much weight as you can, and stop working out. So with that, hydroxyzine, sorry, stop eating, to keep on eating as much as he could, and then take before and after pictures. And there's obviously a big difference for pictures. So then our next slide is food. So we have all been misled about this, and dealing with not only weight loss, false advertisement, but in America, food is a big part of who we are. When we talk about food, the first few things that come to mind are what it looks like and the portion size. And of course, in America, we like to go with the plus size. When fast food places advertise, they try to find ways to attract people to buy their products. The easiest way is for them to make the products look delicious and irresistible, which means hiring food artists to make it look attractive. Even though most of us by now know that it doesn't look like how it does in the pictures, we still get suckered in and always get disappointed. ConsumerReports.org went around and asked random people on the streets about this matter. One person had this to say: go to any Subway store, order from that nice, beautiful menu board, then look up what they shove in the bag that they give you, which I had Subway yesterday and it was delicious, but it didn't look like the picture. It's not just fast food that fails to live up to its picture or description, but food in general. How many of us have watched TV and seen ads about the chips? We all know that we don't get the correct amount that we think we're going to get. So some companies will write about 35% more, when in reality they're just making the bag much larger and filling it up with air. Once again, we were suckered in. The solution of all of this is to make your own food at home. It's healthier, saves money, and also provides the disciplines we all get.
Okay, so the next one is on skincare. L'Oreal has a skin cream that they say if you use it, you will look younger. And they say give it 7 days and you'll see a dramatic difference, but this is not true. Actually, a lot of the companies have been getting sued for false advertising. And sorry guys, this is not my slide, so. They say it will turn back time to the era of the skin. And this one is the mascara. We all see the mascara ads, and we see that they show that your lashes will look, like the middle picture is outstanding if you use their mascara. Well, they actually use eyelash enhancers to get this effect. And if you pay attention to the commercials, you will notice that when they look like they're applying the mascara actually, the line actually has color to it, which means it has no product in it. Because once you put the mascara into the one into the mascara, it comes out black. And so that's just another way that they are showing an illusion that if you actually use a mascara, this eyelash will actually look like the last slide.
And then you have animal testing. So a lot of the companies that you think are like really loyal and family-based, just a good pure company, are not telling you the whole truth. So this is a picture of, it was kind of like a little skit that they did, I guess you could say. They had this woman set in like the storefront and let people walk by and see like what animals actually go through when they do animal testing, because most people aren't actually aware of what goes on. But as you can see, like they have her mouth pinned open, and they'll like pin open their eyes, or on animals will like shave off their hair and drop like chemicals and toxins and stuff in their eyes. And, I mean, there's nothing animals can do about it. And one of the big ones I thought that does do the animal testing is Dove. And Dove is one of the biggest companies that promotes, for women to have like independence and, have their own voice and, let people know that they can do just as many things as they can do. But behind the scenes, they're pinning down animals and taking away their voice and using them as, bait, whatever products they're producing at the time. The same thing with Johnson & Johnson. You see those commercials and you see, babies and families and everybody's just super happy. But behind, the scenes, they're actually doing the same thing, to animals. They're just abusing them every day. After doing a little research,
investigated, and then they got fined and shut down for it. So it's really well hidden unless you just really research a company, because obviously they're not going to come out and say that because it will lead the people not wanting to use their products anymore. So there's definitely a lot that do it, and you're not aware. But definitely a big secret behind and false advertising at its finest. Thank you.
One of the things that you all pointed is the stuff that doesn't look like it. A lot of people didn't realize when gas prices were going up, when they hit about $3 a gallon at the beginning, companies, in order to save money, of course, shipping costs are a huge issue. We're reducing the size of contents in bags by just 1 ounce. They wouldn't reduce the box size or the package size. They reduced just the content by 1 ounce, and you didn't notice it, but you're being cheated out of basically 1 ounce. And it was so that they didn't have to give consumers the impression that they were raising prices when in fact they actually were. It was manipulation of prices. So good job. Good topic.
I'm Alex. We'll be talking about multi-channel marketing.
What is multi-channel marketing? You can define it as an interaction of an organization with its customers. It can also be defined as a mix of online and offline channels to communicate and market to customers. And this can be done by the use of several ways to the same transactions, like the Play stores, websites, direct links, mobile phone applications, social media as well. And nowadays, multi-channel marketing is considered as one of the important parts of marketing because it enables any companies to have a good opportunity to build strong consumer loyalty and also make the buying process efficient, fast, and accurate. And multi-channel marketing is very important as it speeds up the buying process and pushes consumers to stay faithful to the person company. It also leads the organization to figure out which channels create the most and speed sales in order to make them more effective and to boost the response. So if a brand or a company wants to have more customers, it doesn't have to be based on only one channel. If a brand only operates using retail stores, while there's a lot of customers who only might shop online, they might lose the customer that who shop online, or if whatever company operates using only the website, they might lose some customers that only want to shop in the store. So they might want to use as much channels they can to attain a lot of consumers.
Traditional forms of marketing were brought to or accessed by the public through magazines, mail, newspapers, radio, digital marketing, and television. As developments in marketing are transforming, multi-channel marketing will focus primarily on new media outlets through the internet. Through multi-channel marketing, customers are able to interact by using a combination of direct and indirect communication outlets. This will enable customers to take action and possibly buy a product or service. A unique fact about multi-channel marketing is it allows customers to use the communication channel of their choice. Since no mediators or middlemen are needed for multi-channel marketing, this will help with reducing costs.
what company they like or interest and information however, it's right for spend the same amount of time and spend the same amount of time for individual. If not, my result of loss of process. And the second one is business. Keeping the same message across the solution analysis is not easy. Because business and archive the job consumer may answer what and the product and the product and we know that the first intention consumer don't always remember the information that we are given after 7 days.
Another disadvantage of multi-channel marketing is the fact that multi-channel marketing increases expense. So for each additional channel, a new team needs to be hired to fulfill the demand. Also, the marketing communication and cost will go because the team will need training, and the channel will need money for the development and the reduction process. Scheduling is also very important for a company. Each company and promotion has its own development of communication and distribution schedule. Scheduling for marketing channel is always a challenge. So keeping track of all these campaigns will not be easy.
Okay, so as you know, most law companies and businesses do multi-channel marketing. This kind of just shows you kind of like a brief history of how multi-channel marketing has been over the years. In the early 2000s, JCPenney was the first company to launch their own website and will sell items off its website. Kind of in the mid-2000s, Eddie Bauer made it available for the customers to shop through their store as well as their catalogs and their online websites. And then as of 2014, so last year, Gap had 4 different mediums that they were able to help customers make their transactions. This was obviously going through the store, online, their online websites, their resort store option, and their ordering store option as well. So it's interesting to see how basically multi-channel marketing will evolve and innovate over the years. In reality, multi-channel marketing helps a business and companies thrive and flourish. It allows companies to create more revenue by expanding mediums, rich customers, and big purchases. Lucky for the customers, these mediums are user-friendly and convenient for them to use. Multi-channel marketing has a greater reach to the masses since its presence in many channels. It's got pros and cons, and this day and age with technology, when done right, the rewards are economic for those firms.
Why did y'all choose that topic?
What's up?
Why did y'all choose channels as your topic?
We just brainstormed and we all voted on them.
It's a really old field in marketing, it's the channels literature, so I just wondered why you chose it. Thank you, sir. All right, number 13. Who's got 13? Lucky number 13.
because if we were gonna choose social media for our figure that we took on the topic, basically just narrowed it down to Twitter. I explained to everybody what Twitter was, but it was all. Twitter and marketing go hand in hand in many different ways, and they only continue to grow every year. And so,
Jack Dorsey, he's the primary founder of Twitter. It might not seem like that long ago, but it's been 9 years since he started the application. And in those 9 short years, he has become one of the world's few billionaires. And why Twitter has been so successful is just the simple nature of the app, which is just, 140 characters. The only people that can see what you have to post are those who follow you. And as it has grown, it's become more than that. It's become something that people go to for breaking news and check up on others who they find interesting. And it's become something that businesses realize is a key source of marketing, not only for themselves, but to see those who they might want to potentially use.
Here, we're looking at stats from the last quarter. This is just a quarter for Twitter. 288 million monthly users. That's not people that just use it from time to time. That's every month. My mom is a proud user of Twitter. It also has 182 billion timeline views. That just blows my mind. All over the world, there's people looking at timelines. It gained 479 million in revenue alone last quarter, and another 431 million of ad revenue on top of that. And the evolution of Twitter, it's a lot easier to post videos now. When Twitter first came out, I know they had like an app for it. You had to post a link and then copy it to Twitter, and it just took forever. Now it's a lot easier to post videos. Group messaging. You can always direct message people, but now they're using direct messaging as a group message. You have to be careful with that though. I know someone that actually sent a group message to a bunch of girls, like, hey, what's up? You're hot. And it went to all the girls. So be careful with what you're doing on group messaging. While you were away is another cool thing that they came out with, like in class, if you don't check Twitter during class, after class you can scroll to the top of your timeline, and it shows you the most popular tweets while you were away. So you don't have to scroll through and find everything. And then tweets on other sites, promoting to people that don't even know what Twitter is. You can go on ESPN or Yahoo or any kind of site you see ads for Twitter. So they're promoting to other third-party sites. And Evan is going to talk more about promoting.
So Twitter began promoting advertising through the app 4 years ago. When deciding on a price, Twitter has declared that they will only charge the advertisers after they meet their objectives. This allows for small businesses to get in on the advertisements through the app as well as the giant ones. And these advertisements look like normal tweets, but the only difference is you can see a small yellow stripe that says promoted by on it. And Twitter has changed advertising because it's continually bringing in new marketing techniques by evolving and changing. You only have 140 characters, so you're always trying to come up with a new creative way to reach your market. And the marketers, what they consider is the potential customers' sex, location, and the people that they're following. We're trying to figure out who to market to. And Twitter has become a primary source for breaking news. And this helps marketers identify what you see as important, and it helps them to appeal to you in that particular situation.
I'm going to talk to you about how Twitter promotes businesses. 60% of businesses actually use Twitter. We all know Twitter's free, obviously, so for companies that can't really afford a marketing tool, Twitter is probably the best option. If any money really goes into this, it's towards whoever is like in charge of the social media, like paying for their salary basically. So this is definitely the most convenient way to get their name out there and everything. For those companies that can pay for it or whatever, promoted tweets aren't available.
I'm going to talk to you about how small businesses benefit from using Twitter. Craig Sterling, an analyst who studies the internet's influence on shopping and local businesses, stated that small businesses typically get more than half of their customers through word of mouth. So by using Twitter, if you send a tweet about how good a restaurant is, and maybe you can add a picture of your meal, that is not just one person, but it could be hundreds or even thousands, depending on who you are. Many businesses will offer promotions like free appetizers, if you mentioned that you've heard about their restaurant.
I'm going to talk about self-marketing through Twitter. Obviously, Twitter is one form of constant self-marketing yourself to jobs and employers. It can have a positive and a negative influence, though. It can be positive, showing like that you have a well-rounded life, but also if you post like videos or pictures of you like drinking or like have drugs on your Twitter, that can obviously like lose your job or not get hired in the first place. And so you really have to watch what you post, because I know someone that didn't get a job at like a Christian university because his profile picture was like him with a beard, and even though he's of age, like they don't really condone drinking in like social media. And kind of to summarize, like what we just went over, even though we don't really know, say, what the marketing function will be in years, for now, it is, social media is a huge part of marketing. So even though in the next 2 years, kind of Twitter is more targeting, like when they get on Twitter, it's like simpler and cleaner than Facebook. So it's truly marketing just that specific, or just you, like as a person, just like more simplified. So it is one of the fastest growing marketing tools in social media. And big target is, you as yourself, promote yourself through Twitter and what you say on social media. And small businesses, like everyone is saying, how it can help you or it can help you. So even though some people are really against it, against social media and trying to keep that, you can't enjoy it.
All right, you guys did a great job. I like the PowerPoints, they were really impressive. We have a few groups left to go on Tuesday. I'm going to try to be like Sherman marching to Atlanta to get us through the material so we can have a test on Thursday, but I may not make it. I know that'll just break your heart, but if I can, we'll get through as much as we can, and we'll see where we are on Tuesday. So I apologize for the flexibility, but with the technical issues, we should have been able to get through everybody's presentation today, but we just didn't. So